What's up guys, Benji here, bringing you a interesting video actually. Basically Nirvana's come to me and he's gone, "Oi Benji, you're pretty awesome. Can you look at this replay for me? Winner of the last BSG, have a look at this game and just sort of point out what he can do better." So I've watched this replay twice. I've actually tried to cast this once and it wasn't good enough. Was not good enough. I did not convey enough of my vast knowledge of it. That's not good actually. I don't have that much information, but yes, I'm trying to convey as much as I can. I thought I'd give it another shot, see how this goes. And hopefully I can sort of get across what I get. It's actually quite hard, this one, because I'm not going to spoil it. This is purely to analyze this game. But Noobinator, who actually won the cup, did actually win this game. So whatever I say, it's going to always be like, yeah, but he won. So yeah, that's why I like getting games where people lose, because it's easy to sort of go, okay, you could have done this better and actually won the game. But I'm going to point out like every single thing that Noobinator can do better. And I'll probably miss a lot of stuff he does. He does a lot of stuff good. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of small things I'm looking at this game going, well, that's pretty good. I think a lot of people, like ZVP at the moment, this is obviously ZVP, it's a pretty crazy matchup. But basically, well, if Zerg goes mutas, basically it's a weird game. Let's ignore that. This is not a muta game. This is a Roach Hydra Corruptor game. Basically, Roach Hydra Corruptor is a series of counters of units. So basically, the Zerg will open Roach, and obviously the Protoss will open a sort of gateway tech, and from there the Roaches will have an advantage. Sure, the force fields can kind of help out in those early encounters, but as the Roach numbers get larger, you actually need to start and you need to transfer into Immortals. So that's a first counter, Immortals, so Robotech. Basically, we're not going to talk about Stargate Tech either, not relevant to this game. Basically then, the Zerg players like, well, okay, if you don't want 2 or more, that's fine, I can pick them off, and you can actually do that and win the game that way, or hold your own. But once they start getting 3 or 4 Immortals, you kind of need Hydra Tech, and you kind of need to see them getting Immortals, go, okay, I better get my Lair, I better get Hydra Tech just in case I do need them, and then you go Hydras, and then the onus back on the Protoss player. The Protoss then needs to go Colossus, and then the Zerg needs to go Corruptor, and that's pretty much how they fit in the game. Zerg can try and go Brutalords, but yeah, by that time the Protoss Death Ball is too big, unless you've done something awesome and gotten some major advantage, in which case it doesn't really matter so much. But anyway, build this game, pretty standard. Let's fast forward a bit. A few errors early on actually. I have watched this and I know where I need to stop. Just waiting for it, and come on, just waiting for build, sorry guys. Yeah, basically just going to do Robo, 3 gates, and getting chrono, it's actually chrono boosting out probes, it's good. Should be chronoing out those probes there. So yeah, 3 gate Robo, it's pretty good opening, pretty standard. And here we go, pause. So for starters, he's getting +1 air weapons. So I don't know why he's getting that upgrade. That's 100. That's 100 gas he could be spending on something else. It's 100 minerals he could be spending on probes or anything else at all. He's not going Stargate early on. So I don't know why he's getting this. If you want to go Stargate, sure, put a Stargate down, then start researching it. If you think you need +1, in fact, it's probably good if you get Stargate. Void rates with +1 are quite scary. But yeah, if you're not going Stargate straight away, save that. Especially early game, money is so vital. You need to be able to get out like everything. The more probes you get out now, it snowballs. So later on, you're so much further ahead. I've actually played a game in a tournament, and I lost 4 drones. Like I did that whole 4 harass thing, and I did a good harassment, but I wasn't paying attention for a split second. I got surrounded with my drones. I lost them, and the whole game I felt like I was behind. Just 4 drones early, and I was so far behind. By the way, what I'm talking about is sort of the Root Cats rush. You get 4 drones on like Steps of War, a really small map, and you go and harass them with it. And they'll either overreact with 20 SCV, all their SCVs, or they'll send too little and you can harass their barracks and stuff. Whatever, let's not talk about that. Back to this game. So, like I was saying, you lose that much income early on, it snowballs, so you need to be, your early game needs to be tight. You need to be getting, like, lava injects need to be on time. Chrono boosts need to be used, like, on probes, so you get more probes out. So you get into this mid-game with an advantage, or at least not behind as you start getting to the higher levels. So, let's bring it back down to faster. Have a bit of a watch of this. So, obviously, Ling's perking up. It's fine, probably should pull them back. There we go, that's nice. Time to do a scout to see what's going on. Just looking for chrono boost on the side core, probably looking for a 4 gate. Surprised it's sacked an overlord. This gas here, just want to point out as well, some Zerg do it. I know Noobinator's not doing it. He's awesome. Don't send your first zealot for it, because Ling's running and kill you. Simple. But yeah, I gotta say it. I have to say it. But yep, that's good. So he's got less gas. Now, something I want to point out, you should be getting sentries early on, okay? Your gas, like right now, You should be putting 1 sentry down and 2 zealots with these 3 gates. That's the correct thing to do. He's got enough gas for 1. Instead, he's going to go Stalker, Stalker, Zealot, or something to the effect. Stalkers early on here are useless. Stalkers are a terrible unit. They're not very good. They're good at shooting air. That's about it. So, unless you have a real knackering for hunting overlords, then yeah, not a big deal. Unless you need to hide your tech. But sentries are so much better, and I'll show you why soon. But we'll get to that later. So, air weapons being researched now, like I said. Don't need that. Going to chrono boost out an observer. That's good. Just want to see what your opponent's doing. See if he's doing anything crazy. Just keep an eye on his strat. That's good. That's smart. And then you probably want to go for an immortal strap after that because they're such a good unit. Very gas heavy though. Sort of point that out as well. Very gas heavy. So it's like how he's getting a lot of zealots, but he doesn't have sentries. You should be using your gas on sentries. They are a strong unit. Anyway, we're gonna have some roaches pushed through here. Observer's seen him. He's still moving out. Just want to point out right now, roaches beat your gateway army. Okay. Don't have any illusions otherwise. Unless you have a lot more, like in these numbers, roaches will destroy them. Like, no kidding. Maybe if you have enough force fields, even then you're looking at bigger numbers. But in those small numbers, just don't engage those roaches. You have to be like an expert at micro stalkers, and zealots are just useless. But yeah, he's just sitting back here. Now I'm going to show you why that sentry would be useful. Right now you'd have like 2 or 3 force fields on your sentries if you build them. Basically, look at this. Okay. It's going to go down again and back up and then bang, stop right there. Okay, this is an error for Zergtastic. And now, if you're a good Protoss player, you will abuse this, right? What you do is, if they do something like this is very specific, but this is something you need to do. You need to have sentries out. So instead of those 4 stalkers, imagine if you had 2 sentries and a zealot instead. Or maybe even like a stalker and a sentry. What you do is your force field right there, okay? Maybe between sort of the back 3 units and the front 5. What that'll do is it'll trap those 5 units in the front, and you can kill them. Simple. You get 5 free roaches because he's stupid enough to walk up your ramp. Okay? That's why you need force fields this early on. The other reason you need force fields is if he's going to Baneling bust into you, you have no way to stop it without force fields. Force fields are so vital to Protoss early game. Get sentries early. Seriously. Only situation you don't want sentries early is if you're doing a 4 gate with 1 gas. Then you really don't have the gas for it. So there you go. Always get sentries. They're a strong unit. And we'll talk about them. Actually, you know, there's a bit later which I'll talk more about the sentries. I won't rant on now. So, as you can see, he could have killed 5 roaches. Now, that's his 1 force field. That's the only difference he would have needed. 3 roaches would have gotten away. And what does he have left? Nothing. A few drones. That's about it. That's a huge loss to him. Instead, he's going to have a bit of a go. He's going to get a zealot. He's going to trade a zealot for a roach. It's not good for the roaches, but it's not game breaking. So he's just going to walk away. Protoss is like, I killed a roach. I have an advantage. I will go and win the game right now. A bit more passive would be nice, especially when you're expanding. I know Day 9 says expand behind your attack, but I don't agree so much. I think expand when you can defend it, when you're not worried about your opponent attacking. That's smarter. But hey, you know what? Whatever suits. At least you're expanding. At least you're not one-basing. He's going to go put... See, yeah, okay. Forward pylons like this kind of means you're going not all in, but you want to put a lot of pressure on. Haven't gone econ after that. Anyway, whatever. Engagement here. Oh my god, let's see what we can do here. Just back and forth pretty much. Now see there's 2 spines, he's just delaying, he's just running away, give them time for the spines to go up. That's fine. All you need to do is pull back. Just pull back. You've checked out his armor, you've made him make these 2 spines. Otherwise he wouldn't have made them. So there you go. 200 minerals and 2 drones wasted on pretty much nothing unless you attack. So that's always good. Force him to make a lot more roaches if they would want to be drones. That's smart. Now you want to pull back, but instead he's just going to sit there. That's fine. You know what? You're not perfect, but there's an idea. If you force him to make these units, you can see it because you have the observer there. As I lag a little bit. Oh, this is smart by the way, overseer. I don't even get an overseer against Protoss. I'm not smart. But yeah, you force those units, now back away, and then go econ and just out econ him. Just checking drones. Right now it's even. Oh, sorry, it was until 10 drones just popped out. But there you go. That's the idea. Anyway, he's got sentries now. Now, bang, stop. Right now, right, his army comp could be exactly the same had he opened with sentries, except instead of those sentries having 1 force field each, they could have full energy. There you go. Right now, it could have been exactly the same units, except full energy on those sentries. That's why you get sentries early, because by the time this battle comes, you have more force fields. You can Guardian Shield as well, which is pretty decent. But anyway, that's fine. It's, like I said, you fix that, and this will go so much better. Now, force fielding is a big part of the army. Without force fields, these roaches just demolish this. Although with 2 immortals, it might be close. Force fields are what allow you to kill a lot of stuff, force him to engage you, but then him not being able to engage you, like it traps units. That's what it's good for. The engagement should be pretty soon. Like I said, 4 sentries could be even better. So we're going to wait for this, and force fields will go up. 1, 2. Okay, this is good. This is good. So he's used up all of his force fields. He has none left. And look how he's trapped these units. See how these zealots are pinning them against this force field? If he had more, he could have put one more here and trapped these units, all of them. Instead, I'm going to unpause, and you see a lot of them get away. If you have more force fields, you can trap more units in here and kill more. That's what this whole point is. That's why you have sentries, and that's why you're attacking now, to kill these units. You need to trap them. You don't want them to run away. Running away is bad. Then you can regroup. You want to kill as many as you can and trap them. Like that. That's beautiful. Just trapping those force fields, beautiful. I don't think he even lost a unit in that. We're going to get overlords here. Now we get to an interesting engagement. Blocks that there. Yeah, fair enough, but what are you blocking that for? You don't have many force fields. If you had more force fields, that might be okay. But all you're going to do is basically get some damage on a hatchery or an overlord. It's not, well, I guess it's okay, but whatever. Better than nothing. I'm going to try and get some damage on here. Mortals do a lot of damage. Here we go. Here comes the, okay, this is smart here. Well, it would have been smart. Like I said, if you had force fields, this is what you can do. These zealots should be going this way, by the way, around the north. And what you can do is you can force field here, so those roaches are pretty much useless. And even force field behind them as well, just trap them in there. And then this over here, I cannot quite see some pause for a second there. Okay. If his force fields were a bit better, he could have trapped all that. So there's a queen and 3 roaches in there, right? That queen is a big deal this early on in the game. No, without lava injects, Zerg really can't reinforce, and you can almost just overrun him with brute force. Okay, queens are big deals. I mean, I'd sacrifice a zealot or 2 to kill a queen, but just be careful. Don't sacrifice your whole army for it, because then you lose the game. But yeah, like you see, force fields could have destroyed this. You could have won the game purely right here with force fields. Zergtastic's unit comp is terrible. More roaches pop out. Okay, now we have a look. Let's do a bit more. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself. More stuff rolls in. Okay, now we stop. Now look at the position that Protoss is in here. He's pretty much engaging his army full on. Yeah, he's got 3 immortals, but there are a lot of roaches out here. These roaches here are getting nice surface areas, no force fields to stop them from getting attacks in. These ones here are going to kill this immortal. They're kind of stuck there, but this is a terrible spot for the Protoss. Here you should pull back and just run. Roaches off creep is slow. You'll take some losses running back, that's okay. But the alternative is losing your entire army. So we're going to watch what happens here in this account. See this surface area. These roaches up here giving a lot of damage. And by now it's too late. He's got him surrounded and it's just doing a lot of damage. Reinforcements should come in a second. Well, I guess the spine's having to go. You could actually pull back right now still. Actually, I've pulled that. We're going to do a bit more one-sided. But as you can see, look, just pull back. You could have saved a few immortals there if you pulled back sooner. But it's just about seeing... like, you know, immortals aren't cheap. Like, you can lose a few stalkers, sure, but when you start losing immortals, then the roaches start getting an advantage. You need to start getting that critical mass of immortals. Still, as Raven logs on, hey Raven, how you going? I haven't put myself on busy, that's okay. People can send me tells. But yeah, here we go. Okay, now, look at this. Now you're stuck here. So you've got a lot of roaches here, you lost a lot of units. If you just ran all the way back to your base at the initial, when I said, he would have still had those units, which aren't drones, that's key, and you would have so much more units. So many more units, sorry. My English is terrible today, can you tell? Let's have a look what he's doing here. He's expanded, he's finally making use of that base. He's floating a lot of money. That's the other thing. When you're attacking, and that's the other thing when I don't like, should I pause? Yeah, I'm going to pause, so I'm worried there might be an encounter here. Basically, one thing, when you expand and then attack, you forget about this. Yeah, you can build probes easily. You just hotkey your Nexus to 4 and you spam that E button or your D button or your what is it, A button, whatever, or S button for SCV. Sorry, my bad. And that's fine. But what about your barrack? What about your gateways? Like that's extra income. So what are you using that on? These gateways. But that's too late. You should have been building them already, and thus you're floating money. So just keep in mind. That's why I don't like expanding as you attack, because if you're a great player, that's fine. You can do that. You can actually build gateways as you're attacking. You're that awesome. But when you're sort of at this level, you don't remember to build those extra gateways, all that extra robo, all that Stargate if you choose to go that path. But all correct decisions. There's no correct buildings to build in this matchup. Well, there's bad ones, like +1 air weapons, but let's not go into that. So, yeah, 1 immortal here. Just want to point out, 1 immortal, not good. You need 3 or 4 against roach builds. Once you get 3 or 4 and you keep them alive with a decent gateway army, they are forced to transition. Speaking of transitioning, Hydra Den is up, okay? Now, we're going to keep an eye on this now. We're going to go on the second stage. So this is the early ZVZ. Actually, I'm going to talk about 2 other things, first of all. First of all, this is sort of Tier 1 ZVP. Now, because there's Hydra Den and because of the Immortals, we're going into Tier 2. Talk about that. But third of all, close spawns on this map, right? you need this puts you at a great advantage, because what your idea is to keep the Zerg on 2 base. Protoss on 2 base isn't bad. In fact, Protoss on 2 base is pretty strong compared to Zerg on 2 base. Zerg on 2 base you can't do much at all, but Zerg has actually snuck out and taken this base here. What you need to do is scout this. This is the obvious position for them to go. What you need to do is send a probe, just patrol it between this base and this base, back and forward, and when they take one of those bases you'll know. And what you do is you build a pylon right there, out of vision, anywhere around here, in the smoke if you feel like it. And then when you have your army parked up here, actually we'll go into that later. We'll go into that later, that's fine. This observer as well, because of this overseer which is there, you really don't get much sight. Well, it's good to sort of sit around the edge, have a look at the Zerg army. We probably should poke it in a bit. Or even have a look at the tech in the main. That's the tricky thing. But yeah, Protoss moving forward, just taking this position again. Just likes to be aggressive. Just want to point out, if you're on even bases, the Zerg is the one that needs to be aggressive. Protoss endgame balls are so good that Zerg needs to stop you from getting it. That's the only way to beat it. Hi, King Leonidas. I would reply, but I'm talking. Sorry. Can you coach me, Zerg? Yeah, no, sorry, I don't coach. I'm not good enough yet. It's okay. But yeah, okay, bang, pause. Okay, all of a sudden, okay, we can see Hydras. Okay, this is the first time he's seen Hydras. I've checked. Don't worry, I've checked. Obviously, you can't actually see it here. So there are Hydras out. Now, the first thing you should do is go, great, I forced him into Hydralisk. Okay? Then, the first thing you should do as soon as you see that is, first of all, give yourself a bit of room, pull them back a little bit so you don't get raped. But then go back to your base and build a robotics bay. Straight away, robotics bay, put it down. And in fact, you might even want to preempt it. You might want to be like, I've got enough Immortals, he's probably going to go Hydras soon, let's get robotics bay fast. If you see Hydras, you need a robotics bay as Protoss. We'll watch a bit and I'll explain why as we watch. I don't want to keep pausing. By the way, I can upload more than 15 minutes of movie now on YouTube. Yeah, so I can just talk and pause as much as I want. It's awesome. So yeah, Hydra's being built. This is good by Zergtastic. Hydras counter all gateway units and they counter Immortals. Perfect. And that's exactly what his unit comp is. They also counter Void Rays. In large numbers, of course. But pure Hydra will beat everything here. And we'll see an engagement here. Okay, bang, stop. Okay, this is a bad engagement for Zerg. He's attacking up a ramp into a choke point. That is horrible. Okay, let's check how many force fields we have left. Okay, let's go another theory. If a Zerg engages incorrectly, this is something you have to learn. This is incorrect. Learn what this looks like. That is terrible for Zerg. You need to punish him for it. Just letting him run away isn't enough. You need to be able to destroy half of his army for him making a bad mistake like this. That's what Zerg players hate. So right here, force field wise, he's got one there, and two there. So he's got 4 force fields. Here's where you put them. Put one right there, and you've got 2 left. Okay, so you put one here, so you split his army in half. One here, so his army can't get out, and then you kill everything in here. Every single unit that's trapped dies, and all of a sudden he's left with half an army. You do a warp in of units and attack and win the game. That easy. Force fields are so good. Use them, abuse them. Kill half his army when he does something like this. Unpause, and look, he realizes he's in a bad spot. He runs away and loses a few units. A few. He could have lost about half of that. Could have been down to half those units. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff you need to learn. Those force fields, where to put them, and how to demolish. It's about trapping half their units so you can kill them. Okay? It's not about, it depends. Sometimes it's about you surviving and you keeping them away so you don't die. Sometimes it's about punishing them and you trapping as many units as you think you can handle. And that's a delicate art. That just comes with practice. That's something you got to start thinking about though. That's what makes good Protoss players damn hard to beat. So engaging here now. First of all, bang, stop. Look at the army comp. Like I said again, he has Hydras. You have Immortal, Stalker, Sentry, Zealot. That's not going to happen. Number-wise, he's got more. But just keep in mind, he's building units right here. Like, they're coming out right now. There are eggs making Hydralisks. And it might not go so well for a little bit. You might need a few more units. It's actually going to get the hatchery because Immortal's just doing damage. Okay, that's good. So you kill the hatchery. Now pull back. You've done so much damage to the Zerg player. You've just almost won the game right there. So don't lose your army, because then the counter-attack can do damage to you. And that's not what you want. Force fields, I want to point it out. I mean, I'm being really critical, man. Noobinator, you're doing well, but I'm going to point out every single thing you do wrong, because that's how you learn. That's what this is for, okay? I'm not here because I think you're a bad player. I'm just making sure. But these force fields, look, there are 3 here. There could have been 2. I'm just saying, there could have been a third one to, I don't know, put one here, and then one here, and then bang, those 5 units are dead. That's the kind of stuff you got to look at. Trying to get units from the Zerg player for free when he's on this tech. So yeah, that's fine. He's going to get chased away, obviously. That's a lot of damn units. A lot of them are drones, though. Keep in mind, drones buffer damage if he does attack with them. That was good for. I like those force fields. They force the Zerg into a channel, kill the Queen. Zerg is not playing very well here. This is not correct for the Zerg player. This will not happen often. But look how you've just killed a bunch of units and you haven't lost much. Okay, now he's starting to get a lot of Hydras out, though. Now you got to pull back. See how he's just starting to push in on you with the Hydras, and the drones are taking a lot of damage? Yeah, you've got a few Zealots here. We're going to get a fresh warping in a set. Oh, not fresh warping, but a fresh batch of units popping out. Right there, all those eggs there, they're all Hydras. We're going to just pull back to the Spine Crawlers for a little bit. Keep this in mind. Yeah, sometimes you can win the game here, but you got to realize, what happens if the Zerg spawns 7 Hydralisks right now? Think about that. The Zerg can pop up units very quickly, okay? Just be ready. Can I take another wave of units right now? If no, run. You don't want to lose your army. That's what lets them get back in the game. Right now, you're winning so much. You're basically on 2 base versus kind of 1. Maybe 1. Look, Hydra's down here. Bang, too late. Even some from up here. Just, look, tear straight through that army. Look, you're just going to lose most of it. Like I said, if you pull back 10 seconds earlier, we've had 3 times that many units. Hydra's here. Save the day. Let's get that base up again. Like, problem is that's a lot of Hydras. So, anyway. Still engaging, just keep pulling back, man. That's all you can do right now. You need Colossus. And we're going to look at the tech. Robotics Bay is up, still not a single Colossus out. It's going to pull back. Don't engage Hydralisks with Stalkers unless you have a Colossus. Don't engage that many Hydras unless you have twice as many Gateway units. Okay, that's a rough guide. In small numbers of Hydras, you're going to be okay with like maybe a couple more units. When they start reaching a point where they can just like insta-gib units at a time, you don't want to be attacking that. Anyway, so right now, I mean, how long ago did we see Colossus? 10 minutes ago or something. Still not a single one out yet, despite the fact that I can click it right here and it's got everything's ready. Also, look, his money's floating. His multitasking is not great. That's something you can work on. That's simple. I'm more into strats. My macro and that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I just say, look, just spend your money. We'll get into that a bit later, actually. It's a good period where you're actually floating like 5k. Look at this, engagement in here. Hydras, yeah, not too many. See how you've got a lot more Stalkers? He was engaging poorly. Look at this. Hydras off creep as well. Abuse it. Now, bang, stop. You actually see all those Hydras to check vision. You can see everything there. Look how many Hydras there are. Look how many units you have. Don't engage that. Whatever. See what happens. Just keep in mind, with Hydras off creep, you can engage whenever the hell you want. You are faster. Hydras are damn slow. But they just tear up. When they can do damage, their DPS is stupidly high. Not OP high, they're actually pretty underpowered in my opinion against Terran. Maybe they're okay against Protoss. Anyway, oh my god, attacking, and all of a sudden, you're in trouble. What can I say? Just losing all your units, you're sacrificing them one by one. It's basically pretty much sacrificial. In fact, the correct move right now for Zergtastic is to kill that Stalker and then focus down that Nexus. Kill it in about 3 seconds. Does he do it? Oh yeah, oh no. Kill it, man. Don't move into the base. Kill this Nexus. That's... Anyway, whatever. Colossus is about to pop out. A bit too late. He could have had 3 by now, and his push would have been dead. Just saying. This doesn't have to be such a close game. Yeah, he does win, but yeah, come on, attack me. See how fast those Colossus, those Hydras died of that, by the way. Imagine if that small Gateway army plus the damage from this one Colossus would have done wonders. Instead, he's going to clean this up, but he lost his entire army for it. So we give the Zerg a chance to get back in the game. Just seeing who's in the head. It's actually an even game right now, as far as I'm concerned. Pretty much everything points to even, okay? So, despite that massive lead of killing this hatchery, you've lost your army, and you're pretty much even. Let's fast forward a little bit, see what happens here. I mean, there are boring parts of the game. Oh my god, free Hydralisk, yeah. Come on, kill it. Yeah, no, he's going to let him live. He's nice, he's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, right now, see how this base is starting to come to play? He's starting to drone it up. Put one pylon here, run some Zealots in, okay? At the same time, have the Colossus at the front. We'll go into that a little bit later. Oops, I just paused. Yes, no, I'm just playing. It's okay. Fiddling with my hotkeys, sorry. Let's fast forward a little bit more. So he's taking his third, that's great. In fact, you know what he should do? So this army needs to make its presence known right here. It needs more units for starters, but put the army here, and if you warped in units here, what it would do is it would force the Zerg player to either abandon this base here, right? Or to send his army up there. If he sends his army up there, you come in and kill him. If he sends half his army up there, you come in and kill half his army, then kill his natural. If he doesn't do anything, he loses this base, okay? This is why close positions is so hard on this map and Lost Temple. Abuse that, seriously. This is good, spinning towards your opponent, because you're being aggressive. You've got the Colossus, you've got the tech advantage. He has no spy yet. There's a spy right there. Corruptors are dangerous. Getting a Nidus. We'll get talking about that later. Actually, he's getting a Nidus. Let's talk about that now. See this right here? On this map, against any race, put something here so you can see past the smoke, okay? That's simple, okay? Just one of your, like your 5th pylon, put it there. Just go, okay, my 5th pylon always goes there. Simple. I guarantee you, though, that Zerg will not be able to get a Nidus before the 5th pylon. So there you go. That's good timing for you. Just take that. I just picked that number out of random. It could be 4th, could be 6th, 7th. I don't mind. Whatever. But anyway, yep. Obviously, you're going to come over here. It's going to plant that Nidus down, and then all of a sudden, this game's going to change a little bit. Let's do a bit of a fast forward because Nidus takes so long. Bang. You can't hear it yet. You only hear it right now. Okay? Right now he hears it. Look where his army is. Completely out of position at the front. He's got all his production facilities here. And you know what? If you could see that, his army would be probably here by now, okay? His army would probably be just entering his base, even if it was in the same position. And then, unpause, and back to faster. Hydras pop out, there's too much damage. If you had a pylon here, you just seriously would have units killing those Hydras already. Instead, there was a bunch of gateways. Let's fast forward. His army's only just coming into his main now. Look how much damage is it doing. Okay, there's the army. That was on like ×2 or something as well, so that was quite quick, or quite long. And yeah, like I said, that's kind of stuff that will get the Zerg back in the game if you're ahead. You are ahead, you have a tech advantage. You have Colossus, he doesn't have any counter to it. Okay, now stop. Bang! You've killed a Nidus network. First thing, what saw it? You can't plant a Nidus without seeing the ground. It's still there. Can he do it again? Yes. Does he have the units to do that again? Yes. So what do? You have something there to spot it. You leave a Zealot or 2 there, just so that if he does it again, you're ready for it. Like this Zealot here has got 4 health. Just leave it there to scout. Until the creep goes away, then build a pylon there. Instead, he's like, no, I'll run away, and then all of a sudden, bang, second one. This one does damage as well. Shouldn't, but anyway. In fact, he's just going to counter this one, I think. Yeah, this is the one he's going to counter with. Okay, so this is not a bad decision. So what you're going for is a base race. This is where Zergtastic makes an error, and this is why you shouldn't have won this game. Basically, Zergtastic should have killed off everything here. Should have killed off these gates, that Robo Bay, and that Robo Bay and that Robo facility, and possibly even the side core as well, as you counter in here. This is smart. Got Corruptors here. Corruptors do good damage against Colossus. That's fine. That's fine. That's smart. Okay, now bang. I'm going to stop him right there. First of all, Noobinator, what's he focusing on? Okay, let's watch his play for a second. I'm going to put it on normal because let's go a bit slower. Okay, he's just looking around. He's got a battle going on and his base is dying. He's building cannons. Bit slow. Okay, now your focus is here. All of a sudden, these Corruptors have killed one Colossus and they've half killed another one. And your Stalkers are sitting here doing absolutely nothing about it. I mean, it's good to multitask, but be aware of the battle. If he has Corruptors there, your Stalkers need to be right here. If he has Corruptors over here, your Stalkers need to be here, so they're doing damage at least. And even this Colossus here that's dying, run it away so the Corruptors don't do so much damage. Anyway, unpause. When everyone camps, so we see what's going on, and he does lose another Colossus. That's a shame. And now these Hydras are going to be even more effective. 3 Colossus, those Hydras do nothing. By the way, this should not have come back for a little bit. It should have done more damage. We've got him here. Also, against stuff like that round kind of fails. But yeah, look, he's going to do quite well. He's going to kill the Colossus. He's actually going to hold that, despite losing that base. Well, he would have held that if he didn't put half his Hydras into the Nidus network and tried to hold the top of his ramp. There are still Zealots there, obviously. Hydras will do well against them. Unfortunately, he put most of them in the Nidus network, so we can do some damage over here, which a Colossus is killing. So there you go. This is just stuff in the game. There's no way. This is just thinking on the fly. There's no strategy for this. Just decisions that both players kind of make. I don't think it's so correct. Here, you kill his base. That's fine. That's smart. He's only got 3 Zealots. They're dead. Clean that up. You're feeling pretty good. You've got this base, that's mining. You've got this base, that's the gold. He doesn't have his main. Do you even know about this base? You haven't even seen this base yet. This is scouting. You need to see this base. You need to, after 6 minutes, you need to be, maybe after 7 or 8 minutes, got to realize that Zerg wants to expand. You need to be able to see that expansion. In fact, I think he might have just thought he was. There you go. Just think about it. Zergs expand. Just because they sometimes 1 or 2 base on ladder doesn't mean that you can't truly scout that. It's 1 probe. That's all it is. And this is just crazy. This game just goes crazy for me. Can't commentate too much on it. By the way, I'm just going to check money. He's got 2,700 minerals. Now, what's stopping you from building 10 gates and then building 10 Zealots twice from those gates? Not much. Make just a bunch of... If you have money, just spend it. Get a bunch of gateways. And then whenever you're floating money, use all those gateways. It's better to have no money and have too many production facilities than having a lot of money and no production facilities to use that money. Okay, best players, like top master player, in fact, even pretty much just top master players, they'll know on how many bases they can support X and Y, barracks and stuff. You learn that. You'd be like, okay, I can support 7 gates on 3 base. That's not true. I've just made that number up, and they'll know that. But here you've got 4 gates and 1 robo facility that's not making anything, and you have money. You don't have gas. You don't have gas because you haven't checked here, right? After the attack that came through here, you lost probes around here. After you get attacked at any base, check. Make sure your gases are still taken, and check your probe count. Did you lose a lot? Do you need to rebuild probes at that base? Think about that kind of stuff. He finally does it now, but this has been there since that Hydra attack. So that's why it's so low on gas, and taking that gas as well. It's good. So up here as well, look, there's some minerals in there. Why not send these 2 probes into there? Just stuff like that. Also F1, just periodically hit F1 just to check. Zerg, not a big deal. Terran and Protoss should definitely be doing that. So Observer's going to see this base for the first time. It's going to be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. That's fine. Zerg's pretty much dead. Let's check supply-wise. So, supply, you're 25 ahead. So Protoss is winning, obviously. He also has an army, whereas the Zerg doesn't really. He's got a bunch of drones. Just want to point out as well, kill the lair. Just leave a couple of zealots hitting the lair and the Roach Warren. The lair is a big deal. Without the lair, they can't get a spire. Oh my god, no, that doesn't work. Don't love that sound. Without a lair, they can't get a spire, they can't get Hydralisk in, they can't build back any of that tech. But yeah, look, oh my god, big army, a few sentries. This is just tier 1 army. They don't even need tier 2. And he's going to push in here, and you know what? He's going to win the game with this. This is pretty standard. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to tell him what he did wrong, and he still won the game. So, obviously, against people of your level, this is good enough, okay? This is fine against bronze, silver, gold level players. But if you want to beat diamond level players and rank up to diamond, which everyone wants to, or even master, I should start calling it master, not diamond. That's the kind of things you need to do. So, as this game finishes up here, basically, here's what's going to happen. He's going to kill this base, and the Hydras here are going to do damage until, yeah, whatever. He's going to lose. You can't take out this gold, and that's what matters. He's going to build a bunch of gateways here. Got 4,500 minerals, build stuff. Just build stuff. There you go, more stuff. Yeah, like I said, hopefully that helps you, Noobinator, sorry. Noobtastic. That's like combining their names, Zergtastic and Noobinator, as a giant hybrid, which would be actually the hybrid race. That'd be quite okay. Anyway, Noobinator, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions about what I've said. It is quite heavy, I gotta say. Like, it's not, oh, I just build this then. I'm trying to teach you how to think. I'm trying to get you like going, oh, okay, so this is how it's supposed to work. So just try and think. Try and get that thinking going. I could just be like, oh, just 4-gate, and this is how you do a good 4-gate, and you can actually get to master doing that. But you don't actually get better as a player. That's a force click, by the way. Didn't even see that first time or second time through. There you go. Oh my god, more Hydra. That's GG. But I'm trying to teach you, get you thinking about this matchup, going, okay, when I see this, I need to do this. That way it's less, oh, on 50 supply I need this. It's you reacting to the Zerg, because that's how they play it best. So I hope that helped. Obviously as well, for you guys that are still watching this, I mean this applies to pretty much everyone, all Protoss at least. If you know, go in the BSG. I mean, Noobinator won it. This is actually one of the finals games. If you win the BSG this week, it'll be on Friday. I believe it'll be like the 4th of February. I think. Yeah, it should be 4th. The winner will get 3 of their replays analyzed like this, as in depth as I can. And basically, I want losses for starters. Wins aren't fun because it's like, oh, you won, but I want losses so I can tell you why you lost. But there you go. So enter the tourney. Unstable will do some live casting, so he'll put some on the spot sort of stuff. But it's so much better for me. Like, I'm not saying what he does is bad, but me being able to sit down and watch a replay 2 or 3 times and go, okay, I kind of get what's happening here. It's a lot better. Being able to pause the game as well. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you learned something. That's the key. I hope you learned something. And go in the BSG Cup. By the way, shout out to Nirvana for sending me the replay. I mean, I love helping new people out. Also hit subscribe because I do a lot of videos like this and I want to get you guys better. If everyone could be in Diamond, I would make it happen. Unfortunately, some people can't be because otherwise it would be a bit sort of lopsided. Like, you got to have like 20% each bracket. But you can be in Diamond. You can be in Master. Nothing's stopping you except just learning how to play the game. So thanks for watching and check it out next time. See you soon.